I'm Selena. Welcome to my channel again, or not. Today I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag, which is a tag that's actually meant to be done before the end of the year, contrary to its name. If you want to do this tag, the questions will be in the description and you can answer them in the comments, or you can make a video of your own and let me know and I will watch it. So yeah, let's just get into that. Question number 1. Are there any books you started this year that you still need to finish? Actually, yes. I have put down a lot of books this year that I mean to pick back up, and for most of those, I'm not super picky on when I pick them back up. I didn't get more than like a chapter, a few pages into most of them, and so I don't feel the need to get back to them right away or to finish them out right away. I've just given them all a rain check, and I will get to them when I get to them. But there is one book that I do want to finish before the end of the year, preferably before the end of the month, and that is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. So cat's out of the bag, I guess, because I have not been talking much on the internet about myself reading this, because it's going to be a featured book in a video series I do called I Read My Best Friend's Book, except this time I'm reading my boyfriend's favorite book. This is actually not even his favorite book, this is his second favorite book. But I've already read his favorite book, that's Red, White, and Royal Blue. And so I picked this book, which is a new recent book that he's read and loved, and it is his second favorite book ever at the moment. And so I picked this to read for this series because I'd already read his favorite. This is a series where I vlog myself reading a book that means a lot to one of my friends, or in this case, my boyfriend. And then at the second part of the 2 video series I do, basically, I sit down and have a chat with the best friend, or the boyfriend in this case, about the book and just get all their feelings. We have a little discussion about it. I've done a couple of these so far with some of my best friends, and so I will leave the playlist up in the cards, which you can check out at your leisure. It's actually up here. Cards are up here. Yeah. So yeah, I was meaning to read this book in September, and I started into September and got like 150 pages into it. I'm now halfway through it. I put it down at the in September because I got into a really big reading slump and I wasn't enjoying anything I was reading. And it's not that I wasn't enjoying this, because when I do pick this book up, it is good, like it's fine. But as I've said many times before on this channel, romance is not my favorite genre. It is my boyfriend's though, and so he loves these books, but romance books don't often grip me enough for me to be picking them up constantly or wanting to pick them up constantly. And I just kind of accidentally put this down because I wasn't reaching for it. I wasn't picking it up. And then I got caught up reading other things that I was more interested in at the time. But since my school reading for the past week has sort of slowed down a bit, I'm trying to finish this out. It's a really quick read. I can read a lot in a small sitting. But again, and this may be spoilers for my vlog, but I don't care. I don't want to pick these up as much as I do with other books, and so it's taking a while, but I would like to go ahead and finish this out, get the video with Mason up, and get the vlog of me reading it up, and just have it be done before the end of the year, preferably before the end of November, because I'm doing something different in December. Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I'm gonna say no. I don't know, I don't really read with seasons, and when I do, it doesn't ever work out, or when I try to, it doesn't really work out. I had some spooky books that I was reading. I finished most of the spooky books that I was going to be reading in the fall, October time, but there's one that still feels like fall, November, October-y sort of vibes that I have not already finished, and I'm actually currently reading this one as well, and that is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. So this is a book about a young brujo named Yadriel. My accent with Spanish is really not as good as it once was, or maybe not good at all. I don't know. Please forgive me. Yadriel wants to be a brujo, or he is a brujo, but he wants to prove to his family that he can be an official brujo, but that is proving difficult because he is trans and his family, his extended family, is having trouble coming to terms with that. And because the magic of a brujo, which has the power over life and death, is somewhat gendered in the culture that Yadriel is in, there is complications with that. And so his family doesn't really believe that he can be a brujo because of his trans identity. But Yadriel knows that inside he is a brujo, and so he is fighting in order to show this to everyone else. And that is mostly all I know about this book. I'm not very far into it. I'm only like a few, like 40 pages into it. And so I know that he comes in contact with a ghost and there's a romance with said ghost, I think. And so that is really all I know about this book, and I'm really, really enjoying it so far. And I would say that this is a autumnal book that would transition me into the end of the year, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because this book takes place, I'm assuming, since we're in October with a few weeks until Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. It seems like, from where I am, that the book is leading up to that point, and I know that the Day of the Dead is celebrated on November 1st, 2nd, or like either one or both, depending on where you are, and so I feel like we're leading up to that point. At least we will see it in this book. And so it's past Day of the Dead now, but it's sort of in the same range. And so I would say this is a autumnal book that could transition me through the end of the year. And I'm excited. I'm happy to let it do that because it's really good so far. Number 3 is there a new release you're still waiting for? And yes, there is, in fact. And that release is The Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. So this is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive, which is my favorite series currently. You can see the rest of them right here on full display. I read the rest of the series this year. I read the first 2 in the beginning half of the year, and then I read Oathbringer in the second half, and I'm just really, really excited to get into Rhythm of War when it comes out on November 17th. By the time you're seeing this video, it is really close to when it's coming out, and so that's really exciting. I'm so excited for that. And currently I'm actually reading Dawnshard, which is the novella that Sanderson has like just released to take place between Oathbringer and Rhythm of War. So like that's prepping me for Rhythm of War, and I am loving it. So yeah, I'm really excited for that new release. I don't think there's any more new releases though. I don't really keep up with too many new releases, and I'm pretty sure that that's like my most anticipated release. So really excited to finish out the year with that though. Number 4, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Okay, so I kind of have what I'm meant to read planned out for the rest of the year, but not really any farther, which is another question. But I have a lot of books that could go here, so I'm just gonna pick some of the books that I have a goal to finish by the end of the year because they are my 5-star predictions of the year. I didn't make a video about 5-star predictions, but I did make a list at the beginning of the year, and it's been edited since, but I did start it at the beginning of the year, and there will be a wrap-up talking about what those were and whether I predicted correctly. But for now, I'm just going to mention 3 of them that are on this list that I have not gotten to yet, haven't even started. I'm currently reading a couple 5-star predictions, so I'm not gonna count those. I'm only gonna do the ones I haven't started. And those are Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This is a book about killer mermaids and a bunch of scientists going to see if they can find them. I have not read this yet, but I'm hoping to read this by the end of the month. Also, Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. It's the only Jane Austen book I haven't read yet. I don't know much about it other than it's about a girl who goes to stay in a Gothic mansion and becomes kind of obsessed with thinking she's in a Gothic novel, even though like things are not what they seem. And then I would also really like to get to Kings of the Wyld. This is a story about an old band of mercenaries that gets back together for one final hurrah. It's a fantasy that's getting a lot of praise right now, and so I would like to get in on that and see if I'm going to love it before the end of the year. I'm planning on reading all of these within the next month, like November, beginning of December, so that I can sort of have my 5-star predictions done and over with, so I can like talk to you about them before the end of the year. But yeah, those are the books that are probably the priorities for me to read by the end of the year, but there's a lot more that I have goals to read. Number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? No, I mean, yes, because like I always hope when I'm picking up a book that it will shock me and become like my new favorite thing. But my favorite books of the year so far are the Stormlight books. I guess Rhythm of War could shock me and become my favorite of the year, but also I'm expecting to love Rhythm of War, and I also don't know how it's gonna stack up to the rest of the books. It could be my favorite, it could be my least favorite, I don't know. So I don't know if that's really shocking. One book that I have had high hopes for, it's a 5-star prediction, is The House in the Cerulean Sea, but I'm also not sure that this will make it to the top of the year. I have high hopes for it, but I don't know. Same with all my other 5-star predictions I just mentioned, and Cemetery Boys, like all of those could easily become on the favorites list. I just think that Stormlight is probably pretty well established as my favorites of the year at the moment. So I don't know, we will see. We will see. Maybe there will be a change of heart that I have and I will have a new favorite by the end of the year. And then the final question is, number 6, have you already started making reading plans for 2020? 2021, not 2020. A little bit, I have a little bit. I planned out like basically the whole year last year for 2020, even though I wasn't like on BookTube for most of the year. Well, for the beginning part of the year, I have been doing BookTube for most of this year. Wow. That is crazy to think about. But I honestly haven't done that for this coming year, and I don't know that I will. I think I kind of just want to let myself pick up what I want to pick up more instead of trying to plan things out, because I often plan too many books and that I can't get to, and I also am going to be in school for at least a little bit of that. Well, no, the whole year next year. Yeah, so I'll have a lot of stuff to do. I don't know. I'm probably not going to plan out the whole year, but I have actually started planning out some stuff for January because I have a few videos that I want to do in January, and they're kind of like, they're based off of books as usual that I have not read yet, and so I would like to get to those and, you know, be able to do that video. But other than that, no, I don't know what my reading next year is going to look like. So that's gonna be fun. Thank you for watching my end of the year book tag. If you want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged. The questions will be in the description for you to answer wherever, on whatever medium you want, basically, and I will check it out. Let me know, I will check it out. But yeah, thank you for watching this, and I will see you next time. Bye.